Hello, everyone. My name is Stanley St. Rose, and today we're going to be talking about Mrs. Dalloway by Virginia Woolf. Now, before I go into summary analysis of this work, please remember to give a like, subscribe, and/or comment so that the channel can continue to grow. All right. Mrs. Dalloway, very interesting work here. A lot is happening within this work. Mrs. Dalloway is a very interesting character. Clarissa Dalloway, that's her name. Within this work, she's preparing for a party, she's buying flowers, she's running errands, and we really get into her mind, the way that she thinks, her life. The hours of the day tick by very slowly, and we're getting a lot about her and her decisions. Now, within the work, she's married, of course, Mr. Dalloway, and they have a very, relaxed, normal, upper class life. They have a daughter by the name of Elizabeth, and everything is how you would want it. It's like the perfect little life that a rich person, a person in the upper class would kind of want. You're the wife of a man in politics, and you're hosting parties, you're buying flowers, and everything is, as you would want it. She's built a nice little neat life for herself. But there are some regrets, some things that she thinks about throughout the day that she's unsure of, or that's kind of ambivalent. And what I mean by that, her relationship with Sally Seaton. I mean, they shared a kiss, and there was a relationship between them two, and there's a little shallowness. Mrs. Dalloway, she didn't explore that relationship because, well, it wasn't, acceptable. In terms of, setting up a life for yourself, especially after World War II, a female relationship, it's just, you're just setting yourself up to be, um, well, lots of bad things could happen to you, especially at that time in society. So, if that was the path that she chose, she wouldn't be in the position, and she wouldn't have the comfortable life that she had with Mr. Dalloway. Now, with her life and Mr. Dalloway and her daughter, it's great. I mean, you got money, you got a nice home, you can host parties, you can buy flowers. You're nice and cozy, but if she pursued her relationship, um, with Sally, it just wouldn't be the same thing. She also thinks about her life with Peter Walsh. Peter Walsh proposed to her. They could have had a relationship. They could have had a romantic relationship and had a family of their own, but she rejected him and chose, well, more secure, more um, it's just there's a little bit of shallowness to Mrs. Dalloway, Clarissa Dalloway. I think she was a woman more after the comforts and, securing a good and stable life rather than just going after the deep passions. Because the thing is, like, she's not that passionate about Mr. Dalloway. She's not like head over heels with Mr. Dalloway, but he fits a comfortable, relaxed, upper class type of lifestyle. And in life, this is a reality. A lot of women, they want security and finances to be good and home life to be good and a stable home and a stable structure to life, and they will sacrifice love, romance, passion, those deep, strong feelings for comfort. A lot of women will do that, and a lot of men do that also. You don't go after the love of your life. You go after the safe choice, the woman that's going to be, there, that's not going to leave you, that's going to help you build a family, have kids, and have a stable home, and there's no drama. So some people, they don't make decisions based off of emotions and strong feelings and passion. They make it out of logic and practicability, and what's good to have a normal, average, good life, or a successful, shallow life. But there's some people that want to dig deeper and go after deep and passionate things. So, some people want to shoot for the stars, and other people want to shoot for the sky. I mean, it's like if you're more of a conservative, realistic, you want to get a good, stable job, buy a nice three-bedroom house, have two kids, have a dog, and have a good retirement, and go like on one trip per year. That's the normal, comfortable, average life. You have some little pleasures, and yeah, and that's what Mrs. Dalloway, Clarissa Dalloway, she wants all of that, but just for the upper class version. Throughout the work, we do see her reflecting on life, on the choices that she made, and did she make the right decision? I mean, in the end, she kind of like, more or less accept how her life has turned out. There are some things that she regrets. There are some things that she thinks about, the road not taken. But ultimately, she's like, life is life. I made some decisions, and I think I'm okay. Septimus is another interesting character. Today what he had, we call it PTSD. He ends up committing suicide. So we do also follow his life and what happens to him within the work, and the effect of his suicide on Clarissa Dalloway, and that how that kind of shakes him. So we do see a lot of mental breaking down of people within this work, how they think, how they move, how they act, how they behave, from Peter Walsh to Clarissa, um, to all the people that show up within the work. We see the way that they think, the way that they believe certain things, the way that they act. And even Elizabeth, Clarissa's daughter, is a part of this too. Their attitude towards lovers, towards life, towards what they could have been, towards what they did, towards the choices that they made, that all comes into contemplation within this work. In terms of deeper meaning and analysis, there's a lot to take in here. I mean, I do recommend this work if you're trying to figure out. Well, the human condition is definitely something that I feel like everybody should study. The human condition is definitely a big part of this. The reason why I would say this, because we have to make hundreds, thousands of choices every day, every year of our lives, and you're always thinking, did I make the right choice? And sometimes there is regret. You make a choice and then you go back and you feel like you didn't make the right choice. So choices, your mental breakdown of these choices, thinking things out, the nuances of things. Is this right? Is this not right? Did I marry the right person? Did I not? Did I love the right person? Did I not? Did I give up on certain things that I should have never given up on? That's all a part of it. And Clarissa Dalloway, I think she gives a deep contemplations of all these things. Now, for me personally, I think this work does say a lot about women. I think women think more deeply about feelings and emotions and the people that they're with. I think a lot of women, especially when it comes to romantic relationships, when a man says something, women are oftentimes, they will break it down to the minutest detail. So emotions and feelings and contemplating is something that women, men do think a lot about things as well, but I think for women, women do think about the choices that they make. Women do think about the decisions that they make, who they hang out with. Women do think about people's opinions and how they look and how they think and how they behave. And so I think for a lot of women, what's going on in their heads is because women think a lot. I think women think a lot about stuff and about things that are said, about conversations. And a lot of times women think so much that they will bring their friends into the conversation and create a caucus to really think about romantic relationships, personal decisions. Sometimes it's a whole think tank when women think about things that they think about. So it's a lot, and it's interesting to look at into or to get into Mrs. Dalloway's mind, because it really shows you. I think it does show you how women think sometimes about choices, things that they've done, things that they made. Did they make the right choice? Did they make the wrong choice? Did they have a good life? Is there more that they could accomplish in their lives? I think that does say this work does definitely say a lot about women and how they behave in terms of their thinking. So that's quite significant, and that's something that definitely needs to be looked at when you look into this novel. So Virginia Woolf here, again, this is a masterpiece, I think, because it's really psychological. How our thoughts affect us, how the things that we have seen affect us, how our past affect us, because we know that our past, in terms of the soldier here, in terms of Septimus here, It could lead in suicide. So our thoughts, our mental palaces, the way that we think, our behaviors, it does affect our choices in life. And ultimately, we usually come to the conclusion, are we satisfied or not with the end of our lives, or when we're in the middle of our lives, or even when we're in our youth? Has our decisions made us happy, or have they not? And could we have done better? Um, could we have done better? And also bringing up the idea of the road not taken. Did we take the right road, or is there a turn that we made that we shouldn't have made, or is there a turn that we made that we're satisfied with? So, yeah, very, very interesting work here. Well, that's all I have to say about this work. Please remember to leave a like, subscribe, and or comment, and I'll see you guys in the next video.